See me okay? Hear me okay?
Yes, just
Good
fine.
evening, and we are here with the Greater Statesville Chamber of Commerce having a meeting with our small business center located at Mitchell Community College. I'm excited to have Gregory come and speak about all the offerings that the community college offers through their small business center, and a lot of it is free, if not all
Yes.
of it.
Yes.
So
Keep optimal.
Gregory, thank you so much. I've enjoyed getting to know you and hearing every time I hear your presentation, I get one more nugget out of it. So I'm going
Excellent.
to turn it on over to you.
Perfect. Well, I thank each of you. I thank you for having me and inviting me to speak with you this evening. As mentioned, I am Gregory Kane. I am the Small Business Center Director for Mitchell Community College. I have been in this role for a short period. I started in mid-July, and tonight we want to talk about who we are, what we do, some of my and our beliefs, our core values, and how we go about performing our business. Let's go ahead and dive in. And I always like to take a crawl, walk, run type approach. I never know what the participants know or don't know about the Small Business Center. So I always like to start at the lowest level. We'll define what a small business center is and talk a little bit about our offerings and our core counseling services. A small business center, as defined, we term or use SBC often in our conversation. In the state of North Carolina, each of our community colleges serves as an anchor for small business centers. There's one located at each of the 58, and we have coverage for all 100 counties within the state of North Carolina. The intent is for every small business owner to have a small business center accessible and within less than a 30-minute drive or travel time. But in essence, we help guide small businesses or prospective small businesses through the consideration, planning, developing phases, also opening or launching, as we like to call, and the operation phases of small businesses. We work with businesses that are existing, that are already open, that are already generating revenue. We also work with businesses that are in that prospective stage. I have an idea, I have some resources, what about licensing? What type of permits do I need? I need help finding a facility. This business plan says I need financial projections. Just give them some example, but we certainly try to assist in each of those regards. Each small business center will be a community-based provider of education, training, counseling, referral, and information to support entrepreneurship, and you'll see in bold at the very bottom, at no cost. We are funded by the state of North Carolina, and we are in position as a small business center to educate, train, provide counseling services, in addition to information, data, metrics, and even referrals to other firms if they are more beneficial for that small business owner. But we do everything within our reach to be able to help that small business to open, launch, plan, and also through operation. Please, those of you on the call, chime in if you have any questions or thoughts. But as we press forward, how do we fulfill this mission? How do we serve our clients, which are our small business owners? Here are the distinct ways in which we serve. We offer seminars or workshops. You can also call them short courses. Some of them are one-time offerings for 2 or 3 hours. Some of them may be 2 courses that are 4 hours each over a week or 2-week period. So we try to offer in a variety of ways, but our classes for education, for prospective and small business owners is one of the ways in which we serve. Our primary option or mode of delivery, let me say that, I'm sorry, is our counseling. We provide one-on-one confidential counseling sessions with small businesses. It's very important that I emphasize the one-on-one aspect as well as the confidential aspect. Our classes and seminars are often in groups, 10, 12, 15 in terms of head count and attendees. We try to provide general information that will be beneficial for small businesses, but the one-on-one counseling allows us to take time to listen intently to you specifically. I love to use this phrase, we intend to meet you where you are. So we want to hear, learn, understand. We want to take time with our counselors to, whether it's devising solutions, whether it's compiling research data, market information or market data, whatever the need is, we want to try to work to do so, but we can get that process started, if you will, through our counseling sessions. Depending on the need, depending on the topic or concepts at hand, we can certainly provide multiple counseling sessions, once again, each at no cost to the small business owner. In addition to our seminars and our counseling services, our other mode of operation or offering is our core curriculum. These are also courses that we offer at least once per fiscal year. I look to, as we move forward, to offer hopefully twice per year. But we, as you can see near the bottom, there's a core small business developmental series that we offer. And those 7 courses are listed: how to start a business, how to write a business plan, financing, marketing of your business, finding your customers, business taxes, and bookkeeping basics. So with that core offering, which is dictated to us by the state, we want to ensure that we are covering or have the basis covered, if you will, for that business owner who's trying to get that business open or launched, or to determine feasibility, to determine if this is something possible or something that I should do or should continue. Do I need other resources to be able to pull this off? So those classes are taught in groups, and those concepts are made available for small business owners, like I said, those that are in business or aspiring, so that they can make decisions to continue to get more assistance, to work with a consultant, to develop a relationship with the Small Business Center. So there are quite a few goals that we tend to achieve. But once again, to summarize, our offerings for the Small Business Center are in the form of our seminars and workshops, our counseling services, as well as our core curriculum classes as listed below. And the name of that core is our Small Business Development Series. Are there any questions to this point? Comments? This is one of my favorite slides because of its simplicity. Our Small Business Center, we seek to improve the following metrics: the number of businesses started. Once again, you've heard me mention quite a few times this evening that we work with those that are aspiring business owners to try to position them to open. Those that are already in business, our focus is to work with them to position those small business to create more jobs and to retain jobs. So as you can see, our metrics aren't great in quantity, but they're certainly great in terms of the impact, not only for the business, but our business community, the small business owner, and here in Iredell County. Also, I like to reiterate, the services that we offer are of no cost to the small business owner. We do serve businesses in Iredell County. As I mentioned earlier, those beyond the realm of Iredell County, there are small business centers that are geared to serve you in other counties within the state. As we speak about our counseling, I wanted to give some examples and talk a bit further about that. But we provide local confidential counseling with experienced counselors or advisors. And once again, these services are offered for new businesses, existing businesses, or those considering going into business. We also, our #1 objective, although we provide a quantity of services and service offerings, at the end of the day, our job is to serve as your trusted resource so that we can provide assistance to help you solve some sort of a problem. Informational problem, operational problem, the data workflow, systematic problems, some reports, things of that nature. So we want to jump in to be able to assist. A lot of times we have inquiries that are a couple of questions. We may have someone to come in and say, hey, I really have a strong interest and I don't know where to start. Can you point me in the right direction? So that's why it's important for us to have the ability to counsel at the one-on-one level, because we want to meet you where you are, and our needs vary based on how long we've been in business or whether we're actually in business, but we want to try to meet you where you are. You can see some examples, and of course, this is not an exhaustive list in any way, shape, or form, but these are some examples of some of the services that we offer or provide. I won't go through them all, but the business plan, we perform reviews of a plan. We often can sit down with the client and talk about the importance of each section of your plan. We can talk about the need for financial projections, some of the assumptions that were made. So all the elements that go within the business plan, we're here to serve. We also have access and knowledge regarding loans and loan documentation and preparation. Also, even in the direction of, hey, as a minority-owned business, as a woman-owned business, are there programs that fit me? And in any regard, we would certainly make every effort to make sure that we provide information, concise, detailed, to the extent where you, the business owner, can say, oh, That's what I needed to know. This gives me the information or insight. And repeating, no question is too simple or too complicated. Some of our relationships are a phone call, question with the response. Some go on for years and years with their multiple consultation or counseling sessions and just an ongoing relationship. So I say all of that to say that I wouldn't want any business that is a small business in Iredell County to feel as if there's something that we can't do or we won't do. Let me say it that way. Of course, there are extents in terms of our ability to serve, but through information and referrals, we want to be your trusted information provider in that regard. So please give us an opportunity to work with you as you're in developmental phase or looking to grow within your business. As we talk about what's going on, I know in today's society, we all have so many initiatives and tasks and projects. So let me share a little about what we're doing in terms of the Small Business Center. As mentioned earlier, we're having our ongoing counseling services. We're looking to inform business owners, as I'm doing with this type of call and presentation and other meetings, to just let the community know. I'm serving as the new Small Business Center Director, and our counseling services we're ready to roll. We're ready to go. We want to serve in every way that we can. And I do want to make it known that I am aware that we did not have this role filled for some period of time. There were several months where it may have been a bit gray, if you will, in terms of receiving these services, in addition to this pandemic being underway. But I want to let everyone know at this point that we're ready. We also have our listing of classes available. I've pasted the link in this presentation, certainly, Shannon, if you need this to be distributed, I will gladly do so. But this is the link, and once you click on that link or type that link, there's a button for training, and then you can choose Mitchell Community College, and that way you can see the fall 2020 free business classes that are available. We're also in the midst, and this is the largest and most exciting initiative at this time. Of course, relatively speaking, we're excited to perform in all ways, shapes, and form, but we are promoting our R3 campaign, Reboot, Rebuild, Recover. In essence, we have some funds available with some additional counselors available and subject matter experts that are available to help small businesses to reboot, rebuild, and recover as we move beyond this pandemic period. The
Hey,
state of North,
Gregory,
please.
before you move on, is that something you would ask for specifically when you're calling in for the counseling?
Great question. Yes, you can. So there is so if you were to call our office or to complete a request for counseling request, we'll talk about that in just a moment online, you'll be asked, what types of services are you interested in? What types of needs do you have? And that will be one of the available options. But businesses that are looking to turn a corner, whether that's expand, whether that's potentially collapsing locations, whether that's new products or services, or offering products and services in this new technology climate, if you will, things of that nature. If there are major changes that need to be made for you to operate, give us a shot for that conversation and that dialogue, for our information and guidance, and potentially for us to have a small or subject matter expert to be able to participate as well to move those initiatives forward. So please, as you contact us via phone call or from our online registration, this will be an option for you to denote that you would like some assistance in the regards of rebooting, rebuilding, recovering as we move beyond this pandemic. There are also options there that, hey, I need information regarding marketing plans or business plans or the other core services that we offer. But yes, to your question, if businesses still call our office, they can let us know that they have an interest or would like to learn more about the R3 campaign. And from that point, we'll have a discussion, schedule a time to learn more about the client. At that time, we would then position them with the best resource. In this case, one of our guest counselors. Our guest counselors serve in a capacity where they work with the business in all aspects. We also have subject matter experts in the realm of legal, marketing, accounting, finance, and banking. So the subject matter experts come in when there's an issue that goes either beyond the scale of the guest counselor, or we just need that focused, dedicated time, effort, and energy on a particular topic or concept in that realm. So we want the business community to know that we have the team in place and we're ready to serve. Hopefully that answers your question, Shannon.
Yes.
Was there a follow-up or?
Nope, thank you.
Okay.
Hey, Greg, I do have a question.
Please.
And I'm backing you up a little bit too.
under the seminars and classes for the fall. So are you all anticipating offering the series during the fall?
That is correct, and they will be online as currently scheduled. We've
Okay.
yet not made that decision for the spring courses. So traditionally or historically, we've used our computer labs. We've done our QuickBooks classes and our, how to use Spotify and how to, search engine optimization. We've typically done them all in person, and certainly we understand the benefit and look forward to the opportunity of doing so. But we still want to offer these courses, and so we've gone online for the fall.
Okay. Does it so I know that there's typically a number that you need to get to in terms of head count to offer that class. Does the same thing apply in this virtual environment?
That is correct, and that's a great question. Yes.
Okay.
We try to keep the numbers minimal, but some of these numbers come from state guidelines that we
Right.
have no opportunity to make any decisions. But yes, I think typically 3 or 4 for the vast majority will be the head
Okay.
count. Anything less, we would postpone or schedule at a later date. That's another thing. That's a great question too. As I go around and meet and have these conversations and dialogue, that's one of the things that I really want to try to put the Small Business Center in a better position where we're not having to cancel or postpone, because I believe those 1, 2, or 5 that registered, is still beneficial for them, and we still, should serve. Of course, I can't go beyond the guidelines, but I want to do everything within our power to make sure that we can have our head counts where these classes can run and we can offer these services.
Okay.
Gregory, one thing we can do to help you with that is when you get the calendar, if you can contact me so we can get them on our calendar of events,
Okay,
because it's just another opportunity for y'all to get the word out.
perfect.
Right.
What I'll do is I'll ensure to get you the fall listing, and then as we press forward, as it's released, make sure you're on the top end of getting all that information. And the other thing, just to be perfectly honest, keeping my cards on the table. I haven't made it there yet, but one of the things I want to do is reevaluate our communication methods. I know we have some automated email. I know from our Mitchell website perspective, and we have a page there, but I want to go and really reevaluate, what are people using? What ways are the messages getting out? What ways do we need to retire and, move differently? I'm not saying I want to break it just for the sake of, but I want to ensure that we're effective in terms of our communication.
Great.
On this tab, I just also want to mention, I think I stated in another regard, but we want to continue to network. We want to stay in the business community. We want to establish these relationships. I would hope that over time, prospective and existing small business owners would have that mindset. Well, let me just run it past those guys. Let me just call. Let me just see. Just knowing that we're in that loop, and not that we have to know, have to be a part of, but I would just hope that we're serving in a manner where we create that environment. And that's a part of my vision and part of my values, and I want to move in that direction. So please just know anything that you can do, anything that we can do, anything that you can share with me to help in that regard will be even better for us as we move forward. On that final bullet, we also want to begin to do a little more engaging with what I call, in quotations, the larger small businesses. So historically, we spent a lot of time with the partnership or the groups less than 5, trying to get started, a lot of sole proprietors. But we also know that we have a lot of small businesses that 12, 15 employees are the ways we can work together to position them, to be at 20, not only from the head count, but their revenue streams, the services that they offer. So I want to spend some time trying to work with just, or going beyond just the aspiring or aspiring business owner and try to get in with some of the larger. So that's one of the shifts that we want to move towards as well. Our contact information. We're located on West Front Street here in Statesville. The telephone numbers, the first number listed is for the center itself. My phone number and email address is listed as well. Great. If I could be of benefit, please don't hesitate to contact me. Our website, also our class or course listing for the fall is listed. I'm sorry for the longer links. I should have used a link shortener, but I will gladly distribute this presentation so that you can click on these without having to type that type of information. And as we mentioned earlier in the call, there's a link for our request for counseling. This is the official starting point for us as a small business center. So even this link, if you have someone that has an interest or may have an interest in speaking with us at some point, as we spoke earlier, in terms of, Brian, you and I establishing, having a conversation. This would
Right.
be one of the processes that we would do if that hasn't been done already. It's a pretty short process, but this allows the client to be entered into our client management system, and all of our workflow begins, systematic workflow begins with this RFC being created. Excuse me. Thank you. I saved this for the end. I didn't know if we had time, but I'll just share a little about myself. I am a Clemson graduate. I know I'm in interesting territory, but I have to be careful how many times and how loudly I say that. I also understand that the shades of blue are very important here. I moved from Alabama, spent about 15 years there, so I didn't have a whole lot of blues issues to really think about. But here, I clearly understand. So
There's only one.
there's only one.
There's
See?
only one. Yes, the
And
one when you look up in the sky, it's that one.
oh, so that Carolina Chapel Hill blue, huh? Is that the one?
Absolutely.
Gotcha. You notice I felt a little pressure on that, right? There's only one. Well, which one, Greg? But point well made and certainly well received. I use this slide not to be so much about Greg, but to illustrate how I'm kind of cut from a little different cloth. As a degreed accountant and auditor, all of my technical friends and peers look at me and like, you're not one of us. Get out of here. All of my business friends like, hey, there's the tech guy. And so I've not really fitted any bucket. And I say all of that loosely and somewhat playfully, but seriously, I make the point, my entire career has always been about understanding modes and operations of business. How does technology allow business to move? I've never been a gadget person as a technology guy. I've never been, oh, this is cool, let's do it because it's cool. I've always said, how will this move the needle? How will this database or this system or this technology, we'll just say that in general terms, how will that allow us as an organization to be better? Does this improve our communications? What about our records storage, our ability to archive, our ability to search and access historical info? I needed an answer there before moving forward. So I just wanted to illustrate that as we conclude today. But how can we help you help other businesses in the area is the question that I want to leave you guys with. Please feel free to contact our office. Feel free to contact me directly. If it's just a question, thought, or an idea, to me, that's still worthy of a phone call or an email. No issue is too small or too large. And to conclude, we are here to serve.
Okay.
Questions, comments?
Well, oh, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so first off, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Actually, it was very informative. It's probably the first session that I've ever sat through that relates to the Small Business Center.
Wow.
And so it really was, I really appreciate it because I learned some things and I look forward to us continuing the conversation.
Absolutely.
With regard to the chamber and what we're trying to do, we're really trying to get information out to small businesses in this effort, more specifically, minority-owned business.
Yes, sir.
And so hopefully another opportunity will arise. I know Shannon is going to put it on the website, and I'm assuming on social media.
I didn't tell you ahead of time because I didn't want to make you nervous, but we were live streaming that whole presentation and you did awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to make, some people get nervous when they know they're going to be live. So I didn't want to make you nervous. So we didn't have any questions, but we had some great stream. People were watching. So
yeah.
Awesome. And
Yeah,
if they
we
have
will
follow-up
share it.
questions, bring it to our attention. Like I said, we really want to do everything we can to put everyone in the best position plausible. I even tell the counselors on the team, we're professionals. Don't be afraid to say no, or let's go and evaluate feasibility. I really want to try to push and impact the culture in that regard in terms of how we engage with our clients. I know I can't directly impact how we're viewed and the history of that, but that's yesterday, we're moving forward. So what can we do? How can we best position you for success? And if we need to provide information or potentially refer, we'll do that. If we can proverbially put our arm around you, go through multiple sessions till we can get to that point of comfort and understanding, we're going to do what it takes. Of course, based on my constraints and my ability to serve financially, of course. But we're going to use all resources to try to benefit businesses. And as you mentioned, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, we're going to give all of our effort to make sure that the known programs, financing options, marketing tools, every aspect that's needed, we're going to provide that service.
That's great. Great. Look forward to that.
I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna stop the recording so we can have some off
Okay.
air conversation if we need to. But thank you so much, Gregory. Like I said, we live streamed this. It was my first one, so that's why I was also kind of nervous. So thank you for being my guinea pig.
I'm glad you chose me to.
I think,
the
well,
first
I
one.
heard your presentation, so I kind of knew what to expect. So I was very
Sure.
comfortable knowing that you'd be fine. But let me go ahead and stop this. Thank y'all for listening.